Well, hello everyone! Welcome back to Spirit of Justice. Previously, we managed to get some information out of Betty and Bonnie, the DeFam twins. It seems they were contractually bound to silence on the details of a prank orchestrated by Take-Two TV. And it seems that the victim, Mr. Reyes, aka Man of Mystery, he was in on the prank too. It seems that Mr. Reyes was supposed to play dead when he exited the coffin during Trucy's show. However, we all know how that turned out. He ended up being really dead. Well, me personally, I think there's a window where maybe, just maybe, Mr. Reyes could have been killed between playing dead and, well, being discovered properly by the authorities. A lot happened during that panicky evacuation. At any rate, Trucy herself has taken the stand, there's no stand in sight. She needs all the space she can get to show off her magic trick. She's showing us her quick change sword technique. So let's cross-examine her, shall we? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword.
Hold it!
Please be careful, Miss Wright. Where'd that stand come from, huh? Don't worry, I've practiced this trick 1,000 times. That's right, Apollo. You have to give Trucy some credit. She knows what she's doing. I know, but it still makes me nervous every time. But that's what magic is all about. A truly great magician can make her audience experience all kinds of thrills and chills. I guess you're right. I better try not to interrupt her too much while she's doing the trick. I don't want to distract her or break her concentration. I will ignore that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to the exciting world of magic. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is.
Hold it!
Miss Wright, please don't swing that big, dangerous thing around. Somebody could get hurt. Apollo, please don't shout when I am swinging said blade around. Somebody could get hurt. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't help myself. Huh. You should know better than to talk to me when I'm on stage. Mr. Justice, I'll see you in my chambers after court is adjourned. Uh-oh, I don't suppose somebody could make me disappear before that happens? Let's just watch quietly, shall we, Apollo? And now, back to the show. See that? No tricks or gimmicks, a very sharp sword indeed. I'm already laughing because I can't wait to see what they say next.
Hold it!
So it's definitely a real sword, right? Now, Apollo. I know you're excited, but you have to control yourself. Mr. Justice, if you needlessly interrupt this wonderful magic show again, I will be forced to bring my very real gavel down on your head. The judge seems to be completely taken in by Trucy's magic. Yeah, it's like she's cast a magic spell over him. I better not interrupt her anymore. There's no telling what the judge might do to me. Alright, Miss Wright, please ignore any further outbursts from Mr. Justice, and proceed with your spectacular trick. Alright, here I go then. Huh. Well, now I'm actually scared to press. Shoot, well, I do recall from my last play session that Apollo did notice something immediately off with his testimony, so maybe I could get away with not pressing everything. Oh, screw it. If I do take penalties, I'll just reload. How about that? I want the content. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and...
Hold it!
Oops, I did it again. I've had it up to here, Apollo. Can you listen quietly like a big boy? Sorry about that. I got a little too worked up. Apollo. Now, boys and girls, watch carefully and please don't kick the seat in front of you. I will now take this sword and... Presto Sordo! There, I've switched it! So you switched swords when you spun around just now? That's right. It's the same way I do the trick in the actual magic show, too. But I'm also doing a lot of extra things that I don't do during the show right now, though. The key point is the sword switching. If only we could prove she did it during the actual show, too. Right, prove that she switched them during the show. Huh. Oh. You know what, I might have to rewatch the footage. I don't seem to recall her twirling. What's the matter, Apollo? You look troubled. Oh, it's nothing. Uh-oh, this is quite the pickle. How should I go about handling this? Miss Wright, please continue with your trick. So you've all just witnessed me switching the swords. And now, hup!
Hold it!
Ooh, watch out! Eek! What do you think you're doing, Apollo? But you are putting yourself in danger. I couldn't just stand by and not say something. Mr. Justice, you're putting your head in danger of meeting my gavel. Apollo, you better apologize before you become this case's next victim. I'm very sorry, everyone. How did it come to this? All right, boys and girls, if you want to ask for an encore, wait until the end, okay? Now then, my sword was sharp as steel just moments ago, but... as you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber.
Hold it!
Wow, that's incredible. When in the world did you switch them? Huh? But I explained it once already. Could you show it to me again? Sure. But remember, a magician doesn't usually share her secrets. So this is a very special exception. And I'm very grateful for your generosity, believe me. I better take a good hard look at the instant she switches the swords. Uh-huh. That really does spell it out, huh? Even though she explained how she does it, I still can't see her do it. It blows me away no matter how many times I watch. Yeah, me too, but... what is it, Apollo? Did you notice anything about the way Trucy moves during the trick? You mean like her movements? I don't get it. What's the real story, Trucy? Okay, no penalties for pressing. I seem to recall that happening in Ace Attorney 1, maybe 2 as well. But I think they dropped that, and thank God, because that sucked. Okay. That one, statement 5. Does a little flourish, spins around, another flourish. Let's review that footage, at least the first bit of it. Alright, there's Mr. Hat, of course. Goes to the wrong side. And that's Bonnie, the real Bonnie. Mr. Hat tries to stab, but poof! Goes up, hits the cushion. There's the real Trucy, with the real sword, apparently. Uh-huh. No twirl. She definitely did a little flourish, waved her hand by the bin behind her. But there was no twirl. So I want to read everything she says carefully. Yeah, I think the whole point of this sequence is that I'm not contradicting the words she says, but the actions she takes. It's gotta be this. It's gotta be this. I'm so confident.
Objection!
Miss Wright, there's something I'd like to confirm with you. What is it, Apollo? There seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for us just now and the way it appears in the show footage. What? But that can't be. I performed it exactly like the same way both times. Then what's going on here? Miss Wright, I have the show footage right here. And the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it. What? But I did it. So, it really is the exact moment you switch the swords? Yes, that's right. I knew it. Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused lie for me. Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show? No, Your Honor, that wasn't my intention. I mean, I did swap them. I know I did. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Objection!
Human memory is unreliable at best, but in this case, I am afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the footage for ourselves. The claims of this witness are false. But now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. Gurk! And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Reyes's death was not an accident but murder? I assume you have no objections to that still. It was, after all, your own assertion. The defense has an objection to you, Mr. Apollo Justice. I demand you withdraw the discrepancy you pointed out now. But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something, I'm sure of it. Would the defense team kindly save their spat until after the court is adjourned? Now, after all of this debate, it seems we've come back around to the original argument. The defendant knew about the prank plan that would place the victim inside the coffin. What's more, the defendant did not perform the sword-switching trick on stage. Through her actions, I'm afraid I have come to see the true intentions of the accused. Her murderous intentions. It's such a shame. But I did switch the swords, I swear. You're knee-deep in it now, Justice. Oh, this must mean that it began with a rubber sword, huh? It's as simple as that. Oh, Bonnie. Excuse me? Let's see, you are... which one again? Benny? No, that's not right. Botty? It's Bonnie. You're mixing the two names together, Your Honor. Oh, pardon me. And do you have something you wish to say, Bonnie? Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to testify. About what? The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Trucy killed Mr. Reyes. Bonnie? Hey, what's the big idea? Such an incredibly gifted and talented magician would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it. What are you talking about, you harebrained hare? You keep your trap shut. I got a bag of baby carrots for you, so chew on those and pipe down. No, I won't be quiet. What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me? Trucy said something to me once. Huh? She said, no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy? That's right, Bonnie. I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty, afraid to defy her, so I did what she said. But when I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength. She's just gonna try and trick us again with her magic. Hurry up and convict her already. Give her the death penalty. Yeah. I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened? Would that be all right, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves. Seeing her courage, the way she kept smiling despite everything, she's just incredible. So I'm not going to run away. I'm scared, but for once, I'm going to be brave. Oh, Bonnie, you sweetheart. Ah, what have you done to my sister, Trucy Wright? You've practically brainwashed her. It's the power of Trucy's conviction. That's what it is. It's touched Bonnie's heart. Yeah, Trucy really is one magical girl. Bonnie, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? The thing you tried to tell us about in the lobby during the recess? Yes, ever since I saw the show footage, something's been nagging at me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something is off. I feel like something about it is different from what I saw on the stage. Uh-huh. We got this footage from Take Two TV. My God, why did I ever implicitly trust this footage? It's been doctored, hasn't it? And oh, damn. Huh. What do you mean by that, Bonnie? I wonder if what was shown on TV is really the same as what happened on stage.
Objection!
Of course it is. The show has only been performed once, after all. It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday.
Objection!
But Bonnie's testimony deserves our attention. We have to examine the show footage. But what can we check it against? Do you have some other footage of the show? Well, I have some show footage. You do? One of the TV station's cameramen said he was a fan of mine. He kept his camera on me throughout the entire show. And then afterwards, he gave me the footage he shot as a present. He did? To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was going to get rid of it.
Hold it!
Please submit that footage to the court. Now then, let's take a look at this new footage. Good thing we recently watched this. Focus, damn it. This seems to match up so far. Mr. Hat would fly up now. Trucy is completely obscured. Cards? Some cards flew out. Wow. Okay then. He really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't he? I think this cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work. Well, Defense, do you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting? Of course I do. Okay, so how are we going to go about this? Let's try comparing the two. We just might find an inconsistency between them. An inconsistency, huh? Yes, the two pieces of footage are of the same scene, so they should match up. But Bonnie felt there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two, we'll know what Bonnie found strange. Exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the sword-switching trick. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage. Very well, I will allow it. What a waste of time. Apollo, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage? No, I've never done it before. I'll give you a little lesson then. Use the video player's buttons to go through the footage. When you want to speed through, use the fast forward button, B. And if you want to go back, use the rewind button, X. If you want to halt the playback, just use the pause button, A. Those are Xbox buttons, but I'm using PlayStation. Oh, and by the way, if you fast forward or rewind when the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame-by-frame playback. Okay, and so how do I switch between the two videos? Just use the switch camera button. Now if you find a difference between the two pieces of footage, put the cursor over what's different and present to the court. Thanks, Athena. You really know your stuff. Not really, just gave it some gusto and then went with my gut on most of it. What? I sure hope she guessed right. Anyway, let's give it a try. Wait for it. Should be soon. Run button. Yeah, there is no sword. There should be a sword in frame right here. At the least. Yeah, this is too big to ignore. What is that? If I swap... Yeah, there's no playing cards. Well, I think that'll do it.
Take that!
This is it right here. Take a good look at this scene and compare it to the video shot from the front. Oh, the playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front.
Hey, you're right. What's going on here?
Miss Wright, what can you tell us about these playing cards?
Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword-switching trick.
What? Mr. Justice, does this mean? Yes, it means that the sword-switching trick was cut from the TV show footage. So the footage was edited. Yes, with malicious intent. That is absurd. Well, we must get to the bottom of this right away. Bailiff, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out. Yes, Your Honor. That's Roger, isn't it? Uh-huh. Seriously, who goes around wearing shorts and a popped collar? It's you. Now hold up, Your Honor. This is all just a big misunderstanding, believe you me. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing fingers. And who might you be? Right, sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. Here is my business card. Charmed to make your acquaintance, Your Honor. Oh, well, how very polite of you. It's lovely to meet you too, Prosecutor Sadmati. Please take my card. A business card. Ah, yes, I read about this custom among businessmen in this country. I have even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? Or, what's crack-a-lackin', homie, for example. Oh, you're from Take-Two TV, are you, witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before. Yes, Roger Rettins, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He is a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He is best known for his catchphrase, "Hang loose, baby." Oh my, so you're the Ratings Raja. Hang loose, judgy baby. Nice courtroom you got here. I never thought I'd get to meet you in person. But Prosecutor Sadmati, how do you know so much about him? In preparation for the case, I watched all of his shows. I found the Ratings Raja Goes to Burger Barn of particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine. The math on... The timing on this math... The math isn't mathing. The timing isn't timing. Something's not... He's lying. The Yuda's lying, I swear. What? You went to Burger Barn? Who would have thought? You must have really wanted to try it, huh, buddy? 'Cause that line, whew! Compared to my ascetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way. I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers. Ahem. Prosecutor Sadmati's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside. Mr. Rettins, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned? Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You'll get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards when Trucy spins around, so keep your eyes peeled. Huh. Did you see the part that was cut where Trucy switched the swords? She spins round and the playing cards go flying, Everything's like it's supposed to be. Then it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick. Which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Reyes. Yeah, see, that's the first misunderstanding right there. What do you mean? Well, Trucy definitely did swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Reyes when she stabbed the coffin. But that just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse. So you're saying that up until that point, everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed? It was after the dragon set piece came crashing down. I say Trucy murdered Mr. Reyes when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon, and nobody'd be the wiser. I see. Indeed, there is a ring of truth to your assertion. You bet. Plus, there's a suspicious-looking shadow in the footage, too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon hits the stage. Might be easier to just see it for yourselves. Shadow? Here? Shadow? It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. Huh? That's so subtle. This suspicious shadow must be Trucy. She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim. Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way.
Objection!
This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor. And that's not all. Aren't we forgetting that the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage? Yeah, see, there's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV, and I've always wanted to give it a shot. That would be fine with me, Prosecutor Sadmati. This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the karmic course of this case. Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I've got to say, promise. Very well. However, if you do anything to impede the last rites for the victim, I will have you removed. All right, with Prosecutor Sadmati's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Rettins. Roger Rettins, the ratings Raja. Now, Kaiser of the courtroom. I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, loyal viewers. Oh, brother. It wasn't deliberate, I tell you. Huh. Footage is meant to be edited, I tell ya. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage? I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword-swapping scene was cut? That's right. Glad you got the picture.
Objection!
Coincidence? That's just a little too convenient if you ask me. Oh, an objection! How cool! Sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There, I got some good stuff there. Mr. Rettins, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse.
Whoops, my bad, Judge.
And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination. It wasn't deliberate, I tell you. Yeah, right.
Footage is meant to be edited, I tell ya.
Hold it!
Really? I've never heard anybody say that.
It's common knowledge in the TV world. You got any idea what a snooze cruise it'd be to watch a magic show without editing? A magic show like that one, anyway.
That was ice cold.
Anyway, editing is what makes TV worth watching. Scenes are spliced together and long or boring scenes are cut out.
Hold it!
Are you saying you thought there were boring scenes in Miss Wright's magic show?
You gotta ask, that script and presentation deserve a place on the cutting room floor. Broadcasting that mess as is would have been a complete disaster. That's why I had to edit the footage. It's just what a TV man does.
What didn't you like about the show exactly?
The whole thing. It was a major snooze fest. Maybe common folk like you don't get it. But the show's only as good as how loud, flashy, and trashy it is.
It was plenty loud and flashy on its own. All you did was add the trash. I suppose each industry has its own way of doing things. Just as we in the legal profession focus exclusively on evidence and testimony.
Exactly. Whether it's showbiz or the legal biz, we do what we gotta do to get the job done. Anyway, editing footage is just a matter of course in the TV industry. All the stations edit footage this way. Wasn't like it was done maliciously or something.
Hold it!
It wasn't done maliciously, huh? But I get the distinct impression that you bear feelings of ill will toward Troop Gramarye.
Huh? What makes you think that?
The things that you yourself have said.
You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those Gramarye magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes.
And I also get the impression that you felt this way for a long time.
Objection!
Words such as those can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, though I bear the defense no ill will, I would not hesitate to say that he is a good-for-nothing lout of a lawyer. You bear me no ill will? Could have fooled me. And yet, it is the truth. I am only strict on you as it seems you have strayed from the path. If you have any objections, Mr. Justice, please make your case with evidence in the future. Mr. Rettins, please continue your testimony.
It was just a coincidence that particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional.
Hold it!
Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword-switching trick? That seems like too much of a coincidence to me.
Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my programs, big shot? It's hard being the boss, kid. Gotta make the tough choices, like which content gets cut.
But let me ask you this. Why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case?
You wouldn't understand, champ. It's all about artistic vision. I tell ya, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it.
I may not know TV, but I know evidence law, and boy do I have some for you, champ. I might not be able to show that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. Oh. Interesting. Alright. There is that contract. Oh! Boy, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you wanted to ruin Trucy's show. Yeah. The corpse appearing and the set piece falling were staged by Roger Rettens. Of course it's this.
Take that!
What? This piece of evidence proves that you bear ill will toward the defendant.
That thing? What could that possibly prove?
Come on! You see my logic, don't you, viewer? Come on! Man. But take a good look right here. Wouldn't you agree that it puts you in a bad light?
But looking bad and having evil intentions are two entirely different things. Look at me, for example. I'm not evil, but I am a bit of a bad boy.
Oh, if I could be a bad boy myself. But bad lawyers get penalties for presenting bad evidence. Yeah, that was my bad. No, it wasn't.
Look, I didn't mean anything by it. It was just a coincidence I edited out that scene.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Or what, you got some proof that I had an ulterior motive for editing that footage?
Hold it!
What other scenes did you cut from the footage?
Huh? Oh, no others, I guess.
You mean you only edited out the sword-switching trick scene and nothing else? Don't you think it's too much of a stretch to claim that as mere coincidence?
Objection!
No matter how artificial you find the affair, stranger things have happened on their own. That is, unless you have something with which to prove otherwise, defense. Well, if you have a valid criticism of Mr. Retten's testimony, feel free to counter with evidence. Well, Apollo? Sure would make things easier if we had some.
I think the defense team needs to be edited out of this trial. That's what they need. I'll have to clean up this footage later.
He isn't really gonna put this on TV, is he? Trying to prove malicious intent is tough. All he has to do is say it was all a coincidence. We'll need to find some kind of foothold if we want to make any progress. True, but this guy doesn't seem like the type to slip up. So just have to get the information out of him bit by bit. Alright, let's try this again.
Hold it!
It's definitely either the contract or the fake board. Okay, I know you bear the defendant, Trucy Wright, ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. I can't believe it's not the prank plan. Like, come on. You gotta admit that pranking her debut show sucks. Ugh. Yeah, so it's either the contract or the clipboard. I feel like going for the clipboard immediately might be too soon. Though it would be a solid foothold to launch off from. Yeah, screw it. I say we just go straight for the clipboard.
Take that!
What's that you got there?
This is the contract you had Miss Wright sign just before the magic show. Okay, the game was going to let me pick either one there, I see. This contract between the first party, Take-Two TV, and the second party, Miss Wright, reads, if through the fault of the second party the show must be cancelled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party.
$3 million? That's a completely unreasonable sum.
I couldn't agree more. And of course Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Reddens had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or, more accurately, he conned her into signing it.
Conned her? How did he do that?
There's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign her contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents.
Oh, come on now. That's quite a nasty accusation you're slinging my way. For starters, you don't have any proof I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agency can't pay up, that doesn't mean I conned her. But $3 million? That's totally out of reach of the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Rettens.
Huh. Alright.
Where's your proof linking me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any proof, do ya?
Hold it!
This clipboard is yours, though, isn't it, Mr. Rettens?
Well, it belongs to the TV station anyway, that much I know. Maybe it was an old prop from one of our TV shows that got used by mistake.
Or maybe you used it on purpose to con Miss Wright.
Objection!
Mr. Rettens has already stated that he did not. Mr. Justice, please do not use this trial to try to get out of paying your agency's debt. That's not what I'm doing. Huh. Proof Mr. Rettens is connected to the carbon paper, huh? If Trucy's signature was copied onto the fake contract, then there must be an original contract that Trucy actually did sign. True, but I bet Reddens is too savvy to leave something like that behind as evidence. But what if her signature was copied onto more than just the fake contract? Like a third document with Trucy's signature on it? Have we seen anything like that, though? Yes, we have.
Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Let me continue my testimony.
Nope, gonna stop you right there. Yep.
Objection!
You must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken.
Hey, kid, would it kill you to enunciate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster.
I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here on this contract.
Well, would you look at that? They're exactly the same.
That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. These signatures are proof positive that you conned Miss Wright. And they definitively prove your malicious intent.
Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in ya. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get a great ratings for sure.
Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Reddens. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions, isn't that right?
Objection.
What a forced argument, defense. All you have really proven is not his ill will toward Miss Wright, but his pecuniary greed.
That's right. Just wanted money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I'd never even crossed paths with Trucy before this magic show. So I'd have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right?
He didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Huh, fat chance. This guy definitely has some major hate for Trucy.
You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammary magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes.
I can't prove it with anything, but the things he said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Rettens and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must be some hidden connection between them.
Hidden?
Connection? What is it now?
Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice?
It is futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Objection!
You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me, but once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me a whole lot more seriously. Will I really? Very well then, do proceed. Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing. What? That was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training. I hope you know what you're doing.
If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Rettens?
Oh man. Well, one of these jumps out to me as being correct, but... Oh man, they're dating? Oh, I want to see this one, but I'll get hurt. I might need the extra health. Ah. Oh, whatever. That sleight of hand trick Mr. Reddens did during that recess earlier. Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff?
Huh? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me.
What if Mr. Reddens is a magician too?
What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me.
Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Miss Wright somewhere along the way.
Objection!
Your argument is hardly worth responding to. Hold on. I just had a stupid idea. Hold on. Okay, I was about to say maybe the Mr. Reyes from way back in the day who tried and failed with the Gramarye troupe is actually Roger Rettens, and the Mr. Reyes who died on stage is some different person? But maybe... maybe they're brothers. Now, I know this man's name is Man of Mystery, and this is Roger Rettens, but they look kind of the same. Their hairstyle is similar, especially in the little, the strands beneath their ear. Like, there's like one spike beneath each ear. Here's two spikes beneath each ear. Their face structure is pretty similar, but okay, let's be real. Ace Attorney has a kind of a same face problem. Well, I will say there's another thing. You can't see it here, but Rettens, on his necklace, it's a gold coin. It's a gold coin. Just like a gold coin that Man of Mystery is holding in this old poster. What does it mean? Okay, I just want to try and... Okay, let's ask Roger to pull down his right sleeve for the court. Your argument is hardly worth responding to. But by all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Khura'inism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit. He isn't going to get it anyway. But we saw Mr. Rettens perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye. Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Want me to introduce you to a good eye doctor? If the connection as tenuous as that is all it takes, then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will toward the accused. I guess you're right. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, short stuff? You would do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Pony. 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey. Ha 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 ha! Numbskull for a numbskull! Well, this numbskull has thick skin, so there. I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician, it's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy, is it? Hold on. I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trucy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Troop Gramarye. Oh? No way! Is something wrong, Mr. Justice? Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time. I see. And what sort of evidence do you have for us? Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime. What? And what have you come up with this time, defense? Trucy Wright is the sole heir to Troop Gramarye and its name. This puts her square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to that one person with a grudge against Miss Wright. Someone was cancelled.
Take that!
And who exactly are you naming, Mr. Justice? 13 years ago, the great Mr. Reyes belonged to Troop Gramarye. But then the troop ousted him, and Mr. Reyes vowed to get revenge on them someday. And what better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their sole heir?
But Mr. Reyes is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect.
But is he really dead? Oh my god, they're doing it.
What do you mean, is he really dead?
If the fact that Mr. Reyes is the victim is what's throwing you off, then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Reyes? Oh my god. What? You mean the victim was an imposter?
Not Mr. Reyes. Then what about the real Mr. Reyes?
It would mean the real Mr. Reyes is still alive. That's absurd. I noticed that Roger doesn't really have anything to say.
Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Reyes, if not the victim of this case?
It's all coming together now. I finally see the gimmick, the trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated Troop Gramarye and wanted to sully its name. The magician lurking in the shadows who set up a fake Mr. Reyes in his stead. The real Mr. Reyes is Phoenix Wright. No. Oh boy. Kinda wish I could say it was Apollo, but no.
Take that!
But that's...
Yes it is. Roger Rettens is the real Mr. Reyes.
What?
Him?
Objection!
Oh, hollow red pepper, your impotent seeds sprout naught but meaningless empty words. You can't possibly have proof to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera, but not even die-hard fans of the genre would stick around past the pilot. You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by proving that the Mr. Reyes in yesterday's magic show was a fake. Yep, we talked about this. I even compared the angle of the arm. I was like, okay, there's a possibility it could be on the other side. That scar's missing. Son of a bitch. And to do that, I just need you to look at this spot on this poster.
Take that!
This is the injury Mr. Reyes sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot of himself shows no trace of that injury.
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Now, Mr. Rettens, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar under that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Rettens, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something else up there?
Come on now, I have nothing up my sleeve. I don't need to hide anything up there because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic is the real deal. Is this what you were hoping to see?
Oh, there it is, the scar!
Just as I thought. That's right. I am the forgotten magician, abandoned to the dark understage of history. The great Mr. Reyes. This
Is totally...
absurd. How ironic, wouldn't you say? That this odious mark carved into me by Troop Gramarye would bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the karmic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Reyes, then who was the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. I met him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Reyes. In confidence, I told him my true identity and led him to take on my mantle.
And when did this man take over for you?
About 2 years ago, taught him my tricks and even acted as his producer. And so a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight. Courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. Hope you enjoyed the show.
You really had us all fooled.
Mr. Rettens, or should I say, Mr. Reyes. In your hatred of Troop Gramarye, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery, and then set up Miss Right to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the Gramarye name. Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. I set up the prank, that much is true, but it was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strongly the criminal element runs in the blood of these Gramaryes.
Objection!
But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about, couldn't you have been the one to use it for murder instead?
Yikes!
Ew.
His head!
Just kidding.
What the heck was that? How big is that sweater? Man.
Heed my words, lawyer lad, for I fear your grasp on reality is slipping. I do believe I told you that my magic is real. It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks.
Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already?
My alibi is as pristine as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Sadmati?
Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solid alibi. What? Recall, defense, that at the time of the magic show, Mr. Rettens was at Take Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. Yeah, that's right. Forgot all about that.
So what do you think, Your Honor? Would you like me to testify on the matter?
Yes, I think you'd better. Please tell the court more about your alibi.
Very well then, on with the show. Are you watching, Magnifique Gramarye? The time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Gramarye line will be no more.
Oh, wow. God, the deception is unreal. There I was being like, man, I was lulled into a false sense of security. With the fake out with Bonnie and Betty, and that reveal, I really did not expect another double situation. Though this one is much different in structure. Wow. Ugh. God, that's an annoying sound. Hold on. Oh, that's much better. Yes. Yeah, no, wow. Yeah. This is a marvelously complex case. Like, damn. Just in case 2. Well, I'll admit the Yokai Mansion 1 and Dual Destinies was pretty complex as well. But this, it's like, it's just... I just marvel at how well structured it is. But I will say, I do have one little quibble, I suppose you could say. The poster. That's at the crux of this. So, Troop Gramarye cancelled and dropped Mr. Reyes after he got injured during the accident, right? And that injury is where that scar came from. So why then was this poster even made with him on it, showing his scar? Like, it's well healed, look at it, it's healed up pretty well. So I don't get it. I don't quite get it. So though, I do wonder what the hell the trick was that made that M or W-shaped scar in the first place. Or even a double V. Or double W? It's like 4 separate cuts, but I don't understand what could have made it. I wonder if that's actually going to become relevant. Huh. Yeah, well, I will say this. Man of Mystery is an utter slimy scumbag, and I hate his guts. He is one of the most detestable antagonists in Ace Attorney history. He is up there as being hateable. Like, yeah, some are just fun to hate, you know? But he's just genuinely unpleasant, and the level he's going to just be such a snob about everything. Ugh. I cannot wait to deliver justice. I kind of doubt we'll finish things next time. I don't know, this could end up going quite a bit further. But I do think we're definitely in the tail end of the trial section, and indeed the tail end of Case 2 as a whole, which is exciting. But yes, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Spirit of Justice. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll catch you next time, so until then, please take care.